Hello all, here's Movie Man, and today we're going to talk about the Canadian sci-fi film Level 16. The film begins, and we see the long corridors of an orphanage, or rather a cross between an orphanage and a prison. The girls, aged 10, Vivian and Sophia, are in the bedroom dreaming of a happy time when they will be adopted by kind and good people, when they can finally go outside and see for the first time what lies beyond those dark corridors. But the siren sounds and the equally dressed children go one by one to the wash basin in the corridor with a camera mounted in front of it. One by one, each girl has to wash her face and show that she is clean. The monitors show a 1-second countdown of the washing process. Unintentionally, Sophia drops her cup on the floor. Panic runs through the row of children. Sophia can't see well, can't find her cup, and asks Vivian for help. Vivian is next, whose turn it is to wash, but she doesn't hesitate to rush to her friend's aid. After picking up the cup, Viv is only a few seconds late in starting her wash. The alarm goes off and all the girls turn their faces to the wall as if on cue. 2 guards appear in the corridor and grab the crying Vivian, dragging her towards the iron door. The girl desperately calls Sophia for help, but she is afraid to move, as are all their friends. As the years have passed, Vivian has grown and become a real beauty, but now she follows the rules clearly. She is discreet, patient, and obedient, which is what a well-mannered girl should be, as they are taught daily in classes that are more like group therapy sessions. They are broadcasted on television. But here comes the long-awaited moment. The girls are brought to level 16, the last possible level, which means they will soon be adopted, and their dreams of a happy life will finally come true. Wyvern, along with 2 other girls, enter the new building, Rose Hall. Level 16 greets them with bright lights and private beds, which seems like a real luxury for newcomers. But the surprises don't end, and V meets her ex-girlfriend Sophia here. She's very happy to meet her. But Vivian shows with all her appearance that she can't forgive her for an earlier act. Sophia tries to apologize, but Vivian doesn't want to hear her apology. Another signal summons the girls, and their mentor, Mrs. Brixill, tells them the good news that sponsors will soon appear. They will choose their daughters, and the girls will begin another life for which they have been preparing and waiting all this time. It's time for them to get used to life in high society, and on this occasion, the Academy presents the graduates with gifts, white lace dresses with their names embroidered on the waistband. By the way, the girls cannot read their names. For all this time, they have been diligently taught only domestic labor, obedience, and, most importantly, proper skincare. Everyone seems happy. They are in anticipation of long-awaited changes and freedom, but Sophia looks very worried. She persuades Vivian not to take the vitamins they are given on a daily basis today. The girls take the blue capsules one by one in front of the camera, but Vivian still decides to believe her ex-girlfriend. It's very hard for her. This is the first time she has so seriously broken all the rules and shown disobedience. As usual, Vivian goes to bed when the bell rings. She is surprised that her roommates are fast and sound asleep. But Sophia runs up and tells her that the girls won't wake up. They're not given vitamins but sleeping pills. Footsteps are heard in the hallway. Sophia manages to warn Vivian to pretend to be asleep. Mrs. Brixill and 2 guards enter the bedroom. The guards bring out the sleeping girls, one of them Vivian. The girls, dressed in white gowns, are brought into the room and placed on the armchairs. Taking advantage of the fact that the guards have gone out, Vivian opens her eyes and looks around. She has never been here. What kind of a room is this? In case she gets declassified, she is very scared. But a strange elderly couple, accompanied by Mrs. Brixill, enter the room. The latter describing to the strangers the virtues of both girls' appearance. The lady is clearly confused, but her companion insists that she make a choice. The name is on the waistband of the dress and written for the convenience of this choice. The lady chooses a second girl, Olivia, and asks her husband to pay for the services. Vivian is carried back to the bedroom. She is shocked. The sponsors are not adopting, but buying them. Sophia is persuaded the only way out is to escape. She hasn't taken her vitamins since level 13, having watched what goes on here at night, and is sure it's dangerous to stay here, but where to run? All this time, they have been told that the air outside is poisonous and uninhabitable. Another event awaits the girls in the afternoon. They meet Dr. Miro. It turns out that on level 16, he regularly examines all the older girls. The adult students need special attention, Miro points out. The doctor talks to Vivian with interest and smiles, but she already realizes you can't trust any of the staff here. At night, When everyone is asleep again after taking the pill, Vivian discusses an escape plan with Sophia. They must get the map of the pass, the only way to escape, and try to save the other girls. Sophia persuades Vivian to tell everyone what they know, but Vivian is relentless. She realizes they could be exposed since denunciations of misconduct have always been encouraged here. During a new conversation with Dr. Mira, Vivian realizes that he sets her apart from all the other girls, which means this can be used to talk to him, to get some information. Viv watches carefully as the doctor uses his pass to open the doors. Meanwhile, strange events continue. Some of the girls are getting sick after being vaccinated by the doctor. It looks like poisoning, and the injection sites are very inflamed. Sophia insists. Time is running out. They need to act. Under the influence of all these events, at another checkup with Dr. Mira, Vivian loses her guard and strips away her mask of being an obedient and compliant student. She speaks to the doctor as an equal, showing herself to be an intelligent and courageous conversationalist. Surprised by this, the doctor suspects deception on Vivian's part. He gives her an injection of a so-called vitamin concentrate. After a while, Sophia walks in on a recovered Vivian. At night, she wants to take a pass from one of the guards, as he often sneaks into the sleeping girls' sleeping quarters to hide from the others. Sophia and Vivian discuss the plan heatedly. The other two girls observe them. They are surprised that Vivian openly shows displeasure and anger and denounce her to Mrs. Brixill. Anger is not allowed here. It is the worst sin, and Brixill punishes Vivian by locking her in a cage. A conversation takes place between Mrs. Brixill and Dr. Miro. The doctor informs them that their powerful patron demands more girls. He is the one who has posted guards who report everything that happens here. Brixill, on the other hand, fears that they will be discovered by the police. She rebukes the doctor for not keeping the girls under anesthetic all the time. Miru explains that it is too expensive, and most importantly, it is bad for their skin condition. When everyone falls asleep, Sophia prepares to carry out the plan herself. She makes a rope from the bed sheets and waits for the guard to arrive. He enters the bedroom, chooses another sleeping victim, and Sophia pounces on him from behind and begins strangling him. The tough man knocks the girl to the ground with a single blow. Sophia tries to escape, but the guard catches up with her. There seems to be no escape. But falling to the floor from another blow from the guard, Sophia sees an iron nearby. She hits the guard on the head, and he loses consciousness. Sophia finds a pass from him and runs to the cage where Vivian is sitting. She wants to open the cage, but an alarm sounds and Sophia runs away. She promises Vivian to come back and rescue her. Vivian sobs. She begs not to abandon her again like she did then in her distant childhood. After a while, Mrs. Brixill arrives and pulls Viv out of her cage. All the girls are lined up and Vivian takes her place in their row. Dr. Miro, Mrs. Brixill, and one of the guards are in front of them, and they are angry. It is explained to the girls that Sophia has done a terrible thing and is being punished, but she has stolen an item they have been unable to find. And until the girls give the thing back, every day one of them will be punished. Dr. Miru chooses the first victim. The guard takes the crying girl out, even though she begs not to punish her. The order is tightened. The girls are now taking pills under Mrs. Brixill's control. She pays particular attention to Vivian and makes me take the so-called vitamins. Mrs. Brixill is outraged at Viv's defiant look and informs her that tomorrow her sponsors are picking her up. Vivian realizes she has no more time. At night, she tries to fight the effects of sleeping pills. In a semi-delirious state, the girl finds a pass in Sophia's bed. Vivian rushes to the door, but they won't open. The administration has disabled the stolen pass. Vivian is utterly desperate, but then her gaze falls on the door hinges, and the girl decides to use the pass as a screwdriver. The door is opened, and Vivian finds herself in the corridor of the administration area, the effects of the pill still lingering and very difficult to move around. Meanwhile, Mrs. Brixill enters Dr. Maru's office looking for something in his desk, leaving her pass close by. Vivian enters the office. She demands to know where Sophia is. Mrs. Brixill informs her that Sophia is alive and in the basement. Brixill plans to leave the academy for good soon, but is going to inject Viv with a dose of tranquilizers first. A struggle ensues between them, and Vivian manages to take away the syringe of medication. She injects Mrs. Brixill and rushes off in search of Sophia, grabbing her mentor badge. The coveted freedom is so close. Vivian stands by the front door and can finally escape. But a moment of doubt flies by, and Vivian descends into the basement. Unable to escape and leave her friend behind, Viv finds Sophia and frees her with Mrs. Bricksill's pass. Sophia's hands are tied, and in search of something to cut the ropes with, the girls find themselves in an underground operating theater. Here the girls have a grisly discovery. They see a number of packed bags on the tables. Vivian, trembling with fear, opens one of them, and there lies the corpse of Rita, the girl the guards took away for punishment on Dr. Miro's orders. The skin has been carefully removed from her face, exposing her bloody muscles. Vivian and Sophia are horrified. They realize that in each of these bags lies a murdered girl without a face, a fact confirmed by the name tags neatly tied to the legs of the corpses. Vivian insists that it's urgent to run away, but Sophia can't leave her friends. She wants to save the other girls. Armed with scalpels, the girls climb the stairs to the front door. Here they part, but Sophia asks Vivian to wait and give her a chance to save everyone and correct a mistake she made as a child. Sophia can't live her life again feeling betrayed. Sophia goes to level 16, and Vivian sees a security guard open the doors to a floor she has never been to before, and leaves the door unlocked. The girl decides to see what is there. She enters an ornate office. On the wall is a huge screen. Touching it, Vivian turns on a commercial in which Dr. Miro and Mrs. Brixill offer rejuvenation services at the Vestal Clinic. Everything is simple. The client chooses the face they would like to have. The donor girl is given synthetic preparations all the time. They ensure a perfect match between the donor's DNA and the client's, which means the skin will take root painlessly and quickly. Vivian is in total shock. She cannot believe the reality of what is happening. At this point, Sophia tries to explain what is happening to the other girls, but they refuse to believe her. At the last minute, when the girls have already decided to call the guards and hand Sophia over to them, Vivian enters the room. She leads Mrs. Brixill in with her hands tied. The lady is clearly not herself. A shot of drugs and a suddenly awakened conscience forces her to confess. The girl is horrified to realize they have not been rescued. They have not been prepared for adoption. They have been raised like sheep on a farm waiting for a buyer. They climb the steep stairs to get out of the building, but a siren sounds as they try to open the front door. The girls run across the courtyard, hoping to escape, but armed guards try to catch up with them. One of the guards attacks Vivian and Sophia. After a short fight, Vivian manages to push the guard off the building. He is dead, but has managed to wound Sophia. Help arrives at the guards and everyone scatters away. Vivian and Sophia run into a small room and block the door. The guards don't want to shoot. They want the girls alive. Dr. Miro arrives to negotiate and persuades Vivian to return. To the girls' accusation, the doctor replies that he has saved them all from poverty and parents who voluntarily sold their children. He has provided shelter, food, security, and that not then going under the knife is their fate. Dr. Moreau reiterates Vivian's uniqueness, assures her that she is unlike the others. He is willing to save her and offers Vivian a deal. Everyone else, including Sophia, returns to the house to await their fate, while Vivian helps round up all the runaway girls and will be free. But Viv doesn't believe the doctor. She asks how much money he planned to get for her, how much her face is worth. Dr. Miru answers honestly. He has spent 16 years of his life on that face. She is priceless, and he won't leave without it. Vivian realizes she has been prepared for a special client. Her value is really great. That is her specialty. Slowly raising her hand with the scalpel, the girl cuts her face furiously in front of the doctor and the guards, sobbing in pain and anger. The guards, realizing that the goods are hopelessly ruined, call someone. They inform Dr. Miro that his boss demands to see him, and he doesn't like to wait. Miro excuses himself. He'll find a way out. He'll fix everything, but the guards lead him out. Soon the girls hear claps of gunshots and everything goes quiet. In the morning, the police break down the door to the room where Vivienne and Sophia are sitting. The girls come outside. It is raining. They are crying, holding hands, and looking at the sun for the first time in their lives. Raindrops and tears run down their faces. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel and suggest films you'd like to see us make in the comments. See you soon!